So, exclusive from Reuters, Meta lays out details of May 20th restructuring in internal document. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward in the meta world, basically as Mark Zuckerberg tries to figure out what he wants to do when he grows up, right? So I've been talking about this for a while with Meta, where Meta is, I don't know what Meta is doing. Meta is the most profitable disaster I've ever seen in my life. You're like, this is so dumb. But at the same time, it does appear like they're making so much money. So I don't know, what are you supposed to say about it, right? So you got Meta, owns Facebook, owns Instagram, owns WhatsApp, the whole 9 yards. They are just pulling in a tremendous amount of money from that. But that is not what Mark Zuckerberg cares about. Mark Zuckerberg wants to be a CEO of any other company in the world than the company that he's actually a CEO of, right? They're doing the whole VR, AR thing in the metaverse. Then they're doing, right now, artificial intelligence, humanoid robots. And that's the cherry on top as far as all this is concerned. Like, what does Meta have to do with humanoid robots? Who knows? But Elon Musk is doing humanoid robots. So, that I guess explains everything. But anyways, right now, Meta is just cutting staff by the thousands, right? Cutting 10% staff, so I do believe it's like May 20th. 10% staff, about 8,000 employees are gonna be let go. That's 8,000 employees on top of the tens of thousands of employees that have already been let go. Not only that, but they're closing 600 positions. So 600 open positions are no longer open anymore. So that is actually 14,000 jobs, positions that have essentially been eliminated. Also Meta can, pivot into the whole AI space. But the problem is, it doesn't really seem like they understand what that means. We're gonna pivot into the AI space. Okay, boss, great. Yeah, no problem, boss. But what is pivoting into the AI space? Like, what does that look like to you? When you think of Meta and you think of it pivoting and you think of AI, like what does that mean? What does that mean? Mark Zuckerberg does not appear to have spent that much time thinking about it. So anyways, what's interesting right now is not only are the employees being eliminated, but in the employees that stay, apparently 7,000 of those employees are being reshuffled in the corporation to try to focus more on artificial intelligence. And I do think this is kind of going to be an interesting thing going into the future with this whole AI stuff. Because one of the things I talk about with AI is like, I would believe jobs are going away because of AI if there weren't so many, if it just wasn't such these massive cuts, right? So, normally, people quit companies, and so you don't backfill positions. It's called backfilling positions. So if somebody quits from a position, you don't refill it, right? Because, hey, look, we have AI tools that will now solve the problem, right? You go through, you figure out the low people, the least productive people on teams, and you slowly eliminate them, right? Generally, it's attrition, right? You have a large company, right? You have an 80,000 person company. You're gonna have a lot of people quitting every year just because they quit for whatever reason. You're gonna have a lot of low quality employees that need to be eliminated just because they actually are low quality employees. And so the thing is, like, if these companies were allowing this attrition to happen and then saying, look, AI is backfilling the open positions, as I've said before, like that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is when Block fires almost 50% of its employees. And it's like, I just don't understand. How do you keep working in a company where half the employees just fire? Like, hey, does anybody know the IP address for this particular server? What's the password? API keys? What does this box do? Hey, yeah, we got a box over here. It's blinking. Anybody have any idea what this box that's blinking does? Oh no, we fired everybody that was responsible for that blinking box. Fuck it, I guess we'll never unplug that thing ever again, right? And that's one of the big issues I have, like with this whole, they talk about AIs. I just don't buy it. Again, I think it's over hiring. So the interesting thing with Meta, right? Meta is trying to become a front runner in the AI space. For whatever reason, Mark Zuckerberg believes Meta should become one of the foremost AI companies. I don't know why, but he does, right? And the issue is, so they're going out there, and again, they created Llama 3. Llama 3 apparently was good. Like 2 years ago, Llama 3 was great, and Llama 4 was crappy, and now it's avocado or whatever. Like they're just in this weird AI space, and you don't really see anything valuable coming out. Again, when I talk about Meta nowadays, you hear me talking about an engineer making $200 million. You hear about me talking about layoffs. You hear me talking about that kind of stuff. When was the last time you actually heard me talking about a product that Meta put out? It was like, oh, wow, this is a pretty good product, right? You just don't really hear that much out of Meta because it doesn't really seem like they know what they're doing, right? Okay, maybe they want to do this, maybe they want to do that, maybe they want to do the other thing. And I think one of the big problems is they're hyper-focusing on AI right now because that's the cool thing to focus on. But as I've said many times before, I don't think a lot of people know what the hell to do with AI. Like just functionally. It's gonna change the world. How? I don't know. Right? You look at this with OpenAI, right? OpenAI is spending $4 billion for a consulting company, literally, so they can have a consulting company to send engineers into your corporation to basically super glue this crap into your infrastructure, right? We look at the private equity firms. Again, very interested in the private equity firms where they're basically forcing their companies to implement AI. Their companies are not desperate for AI and demanding that the private equity partners allow them to use this technology. It sounds like the private equity partners seem to be getting some kind of kickback, some kind of financing from the AI firms, and therefore they're forcing the companies they own to use it, right? That's the weird stuff that's going on. So we look at Meta, right? You have Mark Zuckerberg, who's going through a midlife crisis, right? Virtual reality didn't work. Augmented reality didn't work, right? The whole metaverse thing, that didn't work. So now he's getting into the AI space. The llama thing didn't really seem to work. This isn't working. That isn't working. So now they're buying, was it Manu or whatever? They bought this productivity software. They're buying these humanoid robots, whatever. And I think the interesting thing now is we're starting to see with Meta, now they're going to start tasking their employees more and more to focus on artificial intelligence. I think to try to find a reason, to try to find a purpose to Mark Zuckerberg's life. That's what this is all about. I'll be curious to see how this goes at the end of the day. Let's see here. Meta detailed its layoff plans for this week in a memo shared with employees on Monday, saying cuts to its workforce globally would be accompanied by a fresh round of organizational changes aimed at improving the company's AI workflows. Right, so massive changes in order to improve AI workflows. The Facebook owner is planning to lay off 10% of its employees on Wednesday, with additional deep cuts slated to come later this year. And this is what I will warn you with these layoffs. We are not at the end of the beginning of this crap. Meta has just been laying off so many people, and it's not even over yet. In the memo, which was seen by Reuters, Meta Chief People Officer told employees the company plans to move 7,000 employees to new initiatives related to AI workflows and to eliminate managerial roles. In addition, quote, many leaders will announce org changes, she said. Quote, as org leaders worked on the changes, many of them incorporated AI native design principles into their new org structures. We're now at the stage where many orgs can operate with a flatter structure with smaller teams of pods, cohorts that can move faster and with more ownership. The changes are part of a far-reaching overhaul planned at Meta this year as the company surges its AI investments in a bid to center AI agents in both its product offerings and its approach to work internally. And I think that's an important thing to be thinking about here. Right, that's one of the questions. Did they create a product that is so valuable and so useful that their employees are clamoring to get a hold of it themselves? Like sometimes you see this with technology companies, many companies, right? The company comes out with an amazing product. For whatever reason, the employees can't actually get access to the product. And the employers are like, please, boss, please let us use the product that we've built. Right? That's one way things could go. Or the other way could be they're creating this product and nobody cares about. Nobody gives a crap about. And so now they're going to start shoving this product down their employees' throats to try to get some kind of validation that this product does something that has an ounce of value. And I think that's where we are with Meta, and I think that's where we are with a lot of these AI companies right now. In total, the layoffs and transfers will hit about 20% of the company's workforce. Some of the transfers have already happened, while in other cases, employees will be notified on Wednesday. New initiatives, where the chief people officer said employees were being transferred or drafted, as many staffers refer to it, include Applied AI Engineering, Agent Transformation Accelerator, two teams previously announced by CTO Andrew Bosworth as part of Meta's AI for Work efforts. Both are aimed at developing AI agents that can autonomously carry out tasks currently performed by human staffers. Central Analytics, also a destination for transfer, was likewise mentioned on Bosworth's earlier announcement and would aim to measure productivity and analytics for agent development. Details on other new initiatives called Enterprise Solutions would be shared soon. So anyways, so you got all these layoffs going on in the metaverse. And then the people that are left, they get to get shuffled around. I'm really going to be interested to see what happens with the culture of these technology companies over the next couple of years, right? I used to talk about culture a lot, right? And culture has kind of gone to hell with a lot of these tech companies, right? Because before, with culture, right, way back in the day with culture, right, you had companies with an understandable value proposition. They then brought in employees to be able to maximize the value proposition, and everybody profited. Right? That's the tech industry that I came into. And then we had this boom cycle, right? 1% interest rates. All these companies are just hiring way too many people. And so the culture for many of these companies was basically just coddle employees. If your employees are happy, that means you've got a good culture, which is a bit questionable, right? What we've seen over the past, couple of years now with all of these layoffs, right? Employees are learning just how not valuable they are, and so they're getting cut. But what's going to be even more interesting is going forward is as employers get more leverage over their employees, and as the employers seem to be ever less anchored to, reality, whatever the fuck it is that they're trying to do in life, what's going to happen to morale in these companies with this type of thing, right? So Meta has already had truly a tremendous number of layoffs, tens of thousands of layoffs already. They're now laying off like another 8,000 people. They're now literally stating more major layoffs are on the slate for later this year. So even if you made it through all of these layoffs, you can't even pretend that the layoffs are over. And not only that, now the employees that remain are gonna get shuffled around and thrown into God knows what and be told to sink or swim. So again, imagine you go to this company and you're hired to do something, right? And so you understand KPIs. I listen to Eli, the computer guy. I understand KPIs. I got good KPIs, right? So you go there, you work with a particular team. You know the KPIs for that team. You know that team is valuable to the company, right? That's good. And then you know you are valuable to the team, and your KPIs are good for the team. So you're feeling pretty good. Like, okay, yeah, there's been a lot of layoffs here. Right? I know there's going to be more layoffs coming in the fall, but look, I'm on a good team. I'm on a team that the company needs, and I'm truly a valuable member of the team, right? You feel like you might be lying to yourself, but you feel comfortable with the lies that you tell yourself every night. I'm okay. Now imagine you take those people and start just slapdash, just throwing them around the company. They're now being thrown into teams. They don't know what the hell the team is doing. They don't know what the hell the KPI or the ROI for the team is. They have no idea why the fuck they're valuable to the team. And now they know major layoffs are only a few months away. What is that going to do to the morale of these tech companies? Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. It is going to be beautiful to watch from the comfort of my own basement. It's all gonna get bad. And this is also the problem that we're gonna run into. With these little, these techno-tyrants, right? Whether it's Elon Musk or I've talked about Mark Zuckerberg in the past, with these folks that have basically unlimited voting rights. Like, no matter how few shares they own in the company, no matter how much equity everybody else in the world owns in the company, they have super voting rights. They can outvote everybody. One of the problems that we're going to run into is what happens when these visionaries of the future become doddering old fools and nobody can outvote them. Think about this right now. With the idiocy going on at Meta, like, do you understand what the plan is? Like, I talk about Intel, and I laugh about Intel, because Intel is truly a mafia business right now. But here's the thing about Intel. I get it. I mean, I don't appreciate it. As an American, I'm not proud of it. But look, you understand how a mafia business works, right? Intel went up by 300% this year. You may not like it, but you grasp what the hell is going on, right? And they have a normal CEO with a normal board of directors and a mafia boss as a president, right? But you get what's going on there. Here's one of the interesting things. You look at Meta right now. Do you get this? Like, can you actually explain to me what's going on? Even if I disagree with you, even if I say, look, I don't think that's a good idea. Here's my thing. I don't understand what the idea is. When I look at Meta, I literally look at somebody going through a midlife crisis who has super voting rights for one of the largest technology companies to ever exist. That's what I see. And so what's going to happen when we keep going down the road with this? Even with Steve Jobs still had checks and balances. Bill Gates still had checks and balances, right? The previous generations, no matter how powerful these tech CEOs got, there were still some real and actual checks and balances. Even if it was a nuclear option, right? You're like, well, that would be the nuclear option. Yeah, but you got it. You might have to drop a nuke on their head, but you know you can do that. What's interesting, again, Zuckerberg and Musk and some of these other CEOs out there, there's not even a nuclear option. Right there, I'm watching I'm watching The Boys season 5 right now, right? Like literally, we just gave Homelander V1. We just gave Mark Zuckerberg V1. No matter how stupid he is, you can't even drop a nuke on his head anymore. Anyways, so what do you think about this? Are you really happy you're not in a FANG company right now? Are you thinking about back to about 3 years ago when you're really mad? You're like, I can't believe, why won't FANG hire me? Are you now sitting back going, oh, that's good. Thank God. Whew. Anyways, put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, they are on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is in the doobly-doo, along with a link to my LinkedIn account if you want to follow me there. With that, see y'all later.